in times of crisis or in times of need, maybe we don't all speak the same language, but we do have our voices, and it's important for us to at least have our voices heard.
We were asked by SHEBANG to do a bigger project here, to come for 3 months and to do something on the theme anarchy, actually, originally. I'm Alice, and I'm part of Moha Collective. With Olivia, we are the founder, and then we also work with Wafa, and for this project with a big bunch of people. We like to think a lot about designing spaces for people to meet each other and discuss, basically. And we decided to use an existing concept that we had, which is called Before the Storm, which is basically inviting a group of people to think together of how can we go through a storm together. And so sharing our different storms with each other, and then focusing on our different tools, and we share different form of knowledge, and we can maybe propose a different way to go through whatever storm might be coming. The first session we did together, it was really focused on, we had to share our different storms and where we come from, because we're very different, and that made it very intense, the session, but also beautiful because that formed the group also.
Actually, the first time we were shy a bit from each other, but then the second session and the third session, we were working as a family, actually. Sharing the ideas and experience make me have more visions, make me think more open. When you have a problem, you can solve it easily because you can see it from different points and different corners.
The main themes that really resonated with me was like this collective feeling of crisis. Well, first of all, I feel less alone in a way. A lot of things are happening around us, and it's kind of hard to grasp reality. Right now, I feel like as if I at least have gotten some more words to make sense of the world around me right now, and I feel seen and heard, and I see that more people feel the same, or at least can relate to what I'm saying or feeling or seeing.
It's really amazing because you can, share ideas and share visions. So as I mentioned, everyone has his own vision for the storm, and I was really, actually, they were speaking, and I was like, oh, this is a part of the storm. I've never think about it. The storm, it's music for me. It's maybe when I miss someone is a storm. When I go through a problem is a storm. This is the first time I see the storm from their eyes.
The type of shelter that somehow appeared, I think it's more through images or actions that, or things that people carry with them, like ideas, and we try to translate them into space. So then we start thinking together, and it's nice because the other people in the group also start thinking together. Maybe that could be a way to do it, and like maybe we could create this sort of space.
When we had listed all of the tools that we all found on the wall, I chose the tools shouting/screaming, having your voice heard, and hiding as my tools. My idea for the object that I'm creating is that it's kind of like a buoy, an object that you can use to shout and scream, but you can also literally hide in. So it's like something that you could, like an anchor, like you can hold onto it in times of need if you feel the need to.
The topic itself is really important, so you can experience the storm from different visions, and we're doing that. Actually, each person here from the participants, he has his own vision for the storm, so he's trying to express the storm the way he sees it. So yeah.
They have memories of how, when there was this huge storm outside, the importance of being inside and feeling safe, and that there will be always someone telling stories. One of them wants to read this future because she said also there is always someone who starts to read the hands of the others, and that becomes a game. So this ability to invent other futures in moments where you feel like you don't have a future anymore.
The storm was, for me, it's Vivaldi, The Winter, from the Four Seasons. Yeah. Because imagine you're listening to this piece of music and closing your eyes, so you can imagine the storm, actually.
Art is difficult to measure. We often make this link with care generally, that care is also not something you can easily measure, how to care for something. Like, there is the very practical aspect of care, but there is a whole part which is kind of floating in the air that you don't know what word to put on it, and art has something a bit similar. You're never gonna be that effective. You have to. That's why you need to. It takes time. It's inefficient. It's messy, and it's sometimes out of control. It's risky. It's sometimes chaotic. But this is how ideas are born, and exactly how it can inspire society or gives tools for society to develop.
The thing that I tried to do in this project is I tried to not think ahead too much and just see what would unfold and what would happen just in the moment itself. For me, inspiration can come from the most mundane things, as long as you surround yourself with people and different ideas. You never know what will stick and what will ignite that inspiration.
I hope that's just the beginning of a longer bond, or a longer feeling that you belong to a community that is maybe bigger than the one that you usually related to. So a bit more unexpected, maybe people you would not have met or not have thought that you would become so close. And also knowing that somehow this space we are having now is activating some part of them that is really good at something, that we can actually activate this in each other and that they can take later with them.